This is the only action Steve Smith has ever gotten. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is what Steve gets up to when his parents aren't around. Is Steve secretly a ladies' man? Well, to answer that question, I'm about to take you through every single girl Steve has ever kissed, fallen in love with, and probably in his bedroom from time to time. This is Steve's entire love life, starting with his very first girlfriend. Debbie Hyman, the enchanting Rubenesque vision, as described by a certain crazy alien. She and Steve met when he was trying to ditch class. Wanna guess which one?
You ditching gym class too?
Today is track.
Welcome to my sanctuary. Look at them, scurrying around like ants. Go ahead, exercise all you want. You'll never escape the smoky death of time's magnifying glass.
What a charming young lady. Charming enough for Steve, anyway. Both of them instantly connected over their views on life. Steve, because he loves desserts, and Debbie, because, well, whatever you call this.
Life is a banquet, and death is dessert.
I love dessert.
Aw, don't they just look cute together? I mean, for someone who's always complaining about being a virgin, it's about time he found a girl. After getting some motivation from his dad and an explosive caller, Steve asks Debbie out, and their first date was magically weird. It was pretty frackin' weird.
I'm so glad you asked me out. It sucks we put our dead in the earth where we can't watch them decompose. All this talk of death is making me cremate.
They both went on to date for a lot more episodes than I imagined, although they were pretty on and off. But when they were on, boy, did they try to make it everyone's business.
Hang on.
Yeah, there's no way any of that is hygienic, but hey, love is love. Of course, their relationship wasn't without hurdles, like when Debbie tried running for school president and was humiliated, so Steve figured he'd get back at the popular girls who made fun of her. Let's just say his response was not proportionate. Ew! I don't think this world has enough soap to get the stink out. But even then, I do believe she got off easy compared to this other one.
Oh, Janet. You think Debbie's fat? I'll show you fat.
Gotta admit, that was pretty creative vengeance, especially since it's payback for calling someone else fat. As for the last girl, let's just say he saved the best for last.
I'd like you to turn a trick with my stuffed friend here.
Now that's how you get revenge. Unfortunately, Debbie didn't feel the same way. She wasn't exactly happy about Steve defending her honor with less than legal tactics. But, as we all know, love conquers all.
I understand now why you went all Nutter Butters.
Baby bear is coming home!
Aw, ain't that precious? Well, not really, because she breaks this man's heart like 9 episodes later. According to Debbie, Baby Bear over here is too childish for her. That and the fact that she started eyeing some new candy.
I'll be blunt. I'm coming on to you, Deborah. It's true. This is what's happening.
Yep, could totally see why she'd leave Steve now.
Eitan asked me to be his date to his bar mitzvah, and I said yes. I'm sorry, but I need a man, not a boy.
A boy? Could a boy produce tears this big?
Yeah, that's not mature at all, Steve. But my boy wasn't exactly the type to back down while some filler character like Etten stole his chick, so he cooked up a sick heist plan to ruin Etten's bar mitzvah and make him spaz out in front of Debbie.
Let me down! They're stealing my presents!
No one is trying to steal your gifts.
Honestly, kind of surprised Debbie didn't break up with Etten right there and then. Nothing screams immature louder than the high-pitched scream of a teen boy crying wolf. Either way, that was just the first phase of the plan.
Ham! Stop Steve Smith! The presents were just a clever ruse. He was after the money the whole time.
This is a card saying that Steve Smith has paid for a tree to be planted in Israel in your name.
And that, ladies and gents, was the final straw for Debs and great success for Steve.
And I broke up with Eitan. Eitan's behavior proved he's not a man at all.
Although Steve's plan was ingenious and most of all successful, there was a little collateral damage, but nothing he couldn't fix, sadly at the expense of coming clean about the whole thing, which meant one painful thing.
It was me. I did it. I planted those envelopes on him.
Steve, how could you?
After that kind of stunt, it's no surprise that Debbie didn't want anything more to do with Steve ever again. No, for real. She kind of just vanishes from the show after that. The next girl of importance in Steve's life is one who sits atop the popularity food chain in their school. That's right, I'm talking about
Lisa Silver, as I live and breathe.
What do you want, dweeb?
It's not what I want. It's what you want, which is to go to the dance with me this Saturday.
Okay, hold up. Since when did Steve get so suave? But before we get into that, let's talk about how Steve has had a crush on Lisa Silver for as long as any fan of American Dad can remember, starting from the very first episode.
Ow! Hi, Lisa. Want to go out Friday night?
It's okay, baby. I can handle this.
Not so suave in the beginning, huh? And let me tell you, there was no shortage of silly things Steve did to catch Lisa's attention. From that one time he got a dead dog, almost dying dog, because he figured chicks dig guys with dogs.
Oh, damn it, he's gonna pee. No, no, no!
Hey, dumbass! Your dog's half dead!
That girl talked to me, and I didn't even have to talk to her first.
He even ran for school president just so he'd be the most powerful student at school, leaving her no choice but to date him. Funny thing is, he actually won the election by a landslide. His methods, however, were nothing short of crooked.
Sure, you can vote for Shelley Maxwell. If you don't mind voting for a prostitute.
What?
I have photographic evidence of you having relations with the Jack-in-the-Box man.
Who knew it was that easy to rig elections? Did Steve's plan work? Certainly, but not exactly in the way he'd hoped.
Hello, gorgeous.
Ew, what are you doing?
I'm kissing my woman.
Steve, I like the perks of dating the school president, but I'm not gonna kiss you. I'm beautiful, and you're repulsive.
Hey, he came within spitting distance of actually dating her, so that's something. He's actually come even closer than that, believe it or not. Now we can circle back to suave, confident Steve. After he hit puberty and grew his first pube, Steve somehow manifested the confidence to shoot a shot again, and it went pretty well.
Shh, I know you're into me. And if you weren't before, you are now.
Go on.
Meet me at Macy's tomorrow, young petites. We're going dress shopping.
Strangely enough, that weird brand of self-confidence actually worked on him, but Steve's road to success was blocked by his very own parents who didn't want to deal with the hassle of his puberty phase. Not after what they went through with Haley.
I'm hideous! Honey, you can't even see it.
Whoa, Haley, your cheek's pregnant. Who's the father? God!
Yikes. Dreading the worst, Stan and Francine did what any logical parents would do, go to the CIA for an aging serum to manipulate Steve's age, simple and not complicated at all. There were complications.
What the hell happened to me? I'm a damn toddler!
So that kind of ruined Steve's date plans with Lisa, but after an episode of aging and de-aging hijinks, dang near blowing things with Lisa twice, she was still willing to go out with Steve. She even waited for him at the school dance. He's actually kind of romantic.
Sorry I'm late. I lost track of time.
Aw, Steve will finally get to date the mean cheerleader. Well, he would have if it wasn't for the insanely vengeful alien.
What? Check it out!
He's only got one pube! Ew, and it's red! Let's get the swirly!
Apparently that was Roger's 1,600th birthday, and he had gotten fed up with everyone paying attention to Steve's aging problems rather than his special day. And like that, Steve was right back to the bottom of the ladder. No girl, no rep, just a mouthful of toilet water. Seeing as things never went well with Lisa Silver, Steve at some point set his sights upon another popular girl at school, Lindsay Coolidge. And unlike Lisa, Lindsay was pretty chill.
Oh my God, Lindsay Coolidge.
Hey, Steve, she's coming this way. Ask her out, unless you're afraid. Steve Smith is never afraid. I'm Steve Smith. Would you like to go out with me?
I'd love to.
Really?
If I were Steve, I'd be looking around for the cameras filming a prank show or something, but Lindsay was quite serious about going out with Steve. Her condition for doing so was, well, to put it bluntly, horrifying.
You gotta find a date for my friend Jewel. Here she comes now.
Godzilla!
I know we haven't seen her face yet, but trust me, everyone at the mall was right to run. With Steve's friends out of the equation, he was forced to come to an obvious conclusion.
Pete, Lindsay won't go out with me unless I find a date for her friend. She's not that bad looking. And besides, you're blind. Hello? It's like there's not a human being alive that would go out with that girl.
Yup, Jules was that horrid looking. Patrick Star style. No offense to the poor girl, but how bad do you have to look that even a blind person won't date you? I mean, apparently that bad. Luckily for Steve, though, there was someone non-human that was itching to experience some life outside the Smith house. This was still the first season, back when Roger was an indoor alien.
Lindsay, this is Roger.
Nice to meet you.
Charmed.
And this is Jewel.
Your date.
Oh God, I'm out.
Hey, we had a deal.
Steve, she's so ugly.
Ugly as Jules was, Roger still managed to stomach a date with her. I like to say it went well, but I'd be a liar with burning pants.
You have a little thing.
Oh, Roger, stop it. I don't have a hard time looking at you.
At me? Uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'd rather have my pants on fire than be squished next to Jules. Steve, on the other hand, was hitting it off with Lindsay, who suggested they go back to his place to make out. The only problem with that was, Roger could only take so much of Jules.
Oh, it's the timing. You know, I just got out of a bad relationship.
Gotcha. Oh my god, you're an alien!
To be fair, finding out that Roger was an alien was the best case scenario there. If not, Roger would have needed intense therapy. Of course, that also meant the heated session with Lindsay in the living room would come to an unfruitful end.
Roger is an alien!
Roger!
She was all over me and my wig fell off and we'd be in big trouble.
Nice one, Roger. Well done. Lucky for everyone, the CIA had a memory wipe machine, and all the memories of ever seeing Roger as an alien were erased, along with any chance of Steve scoring with Lindsay ever again. Kind of, pretty much. Not for one of trying, though. Remember that one time he learned how to play a cello just to impress her?
Lindsay Coolidge is what they call a cellos. This could be my big chance with her.
Still, Steve blew that chance because he was more focused on a stray cat that was abusive to him.
Simon! Oh, it's so good to see you.
I'm sure there's a joke there about picking one cat over another cat, but I'm too mature for that. Now let's talk about the time he tried to score some boob. Turns out, in addition to liking boys that play the cello, Lindsay also likes boys that do dangerous stuff, like burning your friends with fireworks.
I never knew you were so crazy.
Totally crazy.
Tell you what, I'll let you touch my breast if you can top burning fatso here.
And to top that, what did Steve do? Bro literally blew off his own finger and set his house on fire. Well, neither of those were on purpose, but it still got him Lindsay's attention.
Not only did you blow your thumb off, you burned your house down. That's so extreme. You get the grand prize. I want you to touch my whole breast.
This is it. I can't feel anything.
Are you saying I have small breasts?
No! No! That's not what I mean!
You're a real jerk, Steve Smith.
Come back!
Yeah, that was pretty much the last of his chances with Lindsay Coolidge. I think Steve's better off without that brand of crazy in his life. The relationship that should have worked out, though, is the one with Toshi's little sister, Akiko. That was pretty much the first time she was introduced to the show. As you can see from that 1-second shot, she wasn't that much of a character. But then she hit puberty, and Steve started to have a crush on her. And the circumstances when that crush first developed were a bit disturbing.
Until now, Toshi has stoically tolerated your boorish jokes. But no more.
Akiko, listen.
Do not interrupt!
Anyone else get a boner when Akiko slapped me?
Disturbing as that may be, Steve didn't actually act much on his crush on Akiko until much later during a Halloween episode when they went to trick or treat or something. And apparently, Akiko's costume was something else.
I'm a boner.
What?
No, I mean, yeah. You can come, more the merrier, whatevs. I love you, not even.
Chun-Li, huh? Both of them end up having a great time trick-or-treating, half of which was spent running away from a maniacal sword-wielding Toshi because Steve didn't bring her back for curfew. Then they stumbled upon this magical lake and cave. It was just romantic.
Excuse my hair, it's super frizzy, and the only thing about this moment I wish I could change.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Toshi chasing them. They clearly did too. Thankfully, Steve was able to talk him down, show him that Akiko was getting older, needed to spread her wings. Too bad she wasn't willing to spread them for him. Pun unfortunately intended.
Thanks for sticking up for me, Steve. Now I can finally date without worrying about Toshi's wrath. Which is so great because I have such a big crush on Doug.
Doug?
Young love, full of betrayal and heartbreaks. But before you feel sad for Steve, he kind of had another chance with Akiko a couple seasons later.
You are awesome up there, Steve. I love watching you spell.
Speaking of spells, I think you just cast one on me.
For more context, this was that episode where Francine and Akiko's mom were in a spelling bee feud, while Steve and Akiko were doing the spelling, not their moms. The irony of the whole situation was that while their moms were feuding, Steve and Akiko were getting all cuddly.
Spelling can't find us here.
Just when it seemed like Steve was finally doing something with his life, winning spelling bee competitions and making out with a hot girl, fate comes to ruin things in the form of his mother.
Let me out of here!
Not until after the spelling bee tomorrow.
I love being with Steve.
Not according to this note you wrote.
Yep, Francine totally kidnapped Akiko and forged a breakup goodbye letter to drive a wedge between them. That way she'd be out of the picture for the final competition so Steve would win. Quite an ingenious plan if I do say so myself, but the evil laugh at the end needs more work. In the end though, both kids realized what their moms did behind their backs and reconciled by not competing seriously at the spelling bee finals.
Steve, spell medicine.
Medicine. MEDEASFAMILYREUNION.
Okay, that is obviously incorrect.
Believe it or not, that bit went on for a whole night. I'm guessing they probably crowned both of them winners just to end it. But at least we got to see a dope fight between Steve and Akiko's moms, martial arts style. Annoyingly, even that too was a draw. Bummer. And for some reason I cannot fathom, Steve and Akiko did not end up as a couple following this episode. Guess she just lost interest at some point randomly. Those were the recurring girls in Steve's love life, most of whom just kind of vanished over the years, probably to make sure Steve remains a turbo virgin forever. So we'll move on to the one episode wonders Steve actually had a shot with. Starting with Kimmy, that one girl Steve fooled into thinking Roger was his burn victim sister so she'd feel bad and go to the dance with him. Maybe even let him get to second base.
How awful.
I know, I'm hideous.
You are so not hideous.
Oh, don't tease me.
No, really. I think you're beautiful.
And Steve's been a super little brother.
Steve, that is so sweet.
I know. Want to go to the dance?
I'd love to.
Surely there's got to be better ways of getting girls than masquerading a misproportioned alien as a burn victim. But considering Steve's luck, or lack thereof...
Hey, Foxy.
Oh! Yeah, I guess using Roger as his sister was probably for the best. But any sane person knows that adding Roger to the mix almost always ends in disaster. In this case, Kimmy became more interested in spending time beautifying Roger rather than letting Steve cup a feel.
Kimmy, he wants to lock me in the attic like I'm some kind of disgusting monster.
Well, you are.
Shut up.
You shut up.
I never want to see you again, Steve.
Safe to say that Steve blew it again. Just a little more patience and maybe he could have had an actual relationship. Just like with his next girl. He just needed to be patient and continue pretending to be a lesbian trapped in a boy's body. Come on. I know, I've got a lot of explaining to do. Just know that he kind of dated this pretty awesome girl named Devon.
I'm Devon.
7 minutes in Devon. Good luck lasting that long.
You are a dork.
So it all began with Haley wanting to join this roller derby team, and I must tell you, their idea of roller derby ain't the type you're probably used to. These guys mean business. Ooh, that's gotta leave a mark. The only problem with Haley joining the team is that she couldn't skate. Absolutely terrible at it. On the other hand, there was someone else in the family who seemed like he was born to skate.
Thanks, man.
Kid's always here.
You know, Steve doesn't really have a lot going on for him, but hey, can't say he doesn't have his talents. And honestly, I don't blame the other girls for not realizing he was a boy. Haley doesn't correct them, though. She brings him into the team as a +1. Turned out to be a win-win, because that's where he got to meet Devon, and they sure did have lots of cute dating moments together. But that wasn't all Steve was getting from being part of an all-girls roller derby team.
Help me stretch it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a sweet spot.
Alas, all things must come to an end. Somewhere along the line, Haley started feeling guilty about lying to the girls and decided to come clean about Steve's gender. Boy, did she make a big show about it.
Is attached to a body that's attached to a...
I can't believe this.
Whoa, ladies, I can explain.
Not you. Her.
Funnily enough, the girls already knew Steve was a boy. They just concluded that he was a lesbian trapped in a man's body. Faced with such a deep sense of doubt about his identity, Steve and Haley dropped one of the hardest musicals ever heard on the show.
I thought I was open-minded.
I always say nothing beats a dope musical piece when you're trying to figure out what kind of piece you ought to be packing down there. But in the end, Steve figured it all out by testing it out later that night. The test? Some alone time with the scantily dressed lady on the wrapper of a shampoo bottle, and according to him, it felt right having what he was born with down there.
Saw the sexy lady on the shampoo bottle, and I realized it felt right. It felt right 5 times. Better go take the edge off. After you, m'lady.
Make that 6 times. However, that also meant that Devon couldn't really be with him because, well, you know, she's not into that. This next girl was much too pure for scantily clad rollerblading. Betsy White was her name, the lovable, good-natured girl who came from very strict parents. You'll never believe where Steve met this one.
Jesus, Joseph, and Mary Lorette.
Can't blame Steve for his excitement. Also, remember what I said about Betsy's parents being really strict? Well, that also involves fooling around with boys and even consuming the tiniest of carbs.
I'm on an ultra-strict diet.
Lemon wedge! Betty wants a lemon wedge! Here's your precious lemon wedge!
Dang it, I thought my parents were strict. Naturally, this didn't stop Steve and Betsy from meeting up on the side every now and then.
You're the only boy I ever spent any time with.
I like those odds.
Wow, second base.
Betsy White, what did I tell you about hand-holding? It leads to kissing, which can get you pregnant.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works, but okay. Imagine if it were, though. Good heavens, some of y'all would be in deep doo-doo. Steve's safe, though.
I knew kissing got you pregnant, and I did it anyway.
Besides, I couldn't be happier. Now that I'm an unwed teenage mother, the world is my oyster. Goodbye, Steve. I'll never forget you.
Well, I'd be fricked. Turns out you can get pregnant from kissing. Gotta go make some calls. You're probably wondering how that happened, aren't you? Well, the pregnancy thing was because Roger was going through his weird alien menstrual cycle. Somewhere along the line, Steve gives him CPR, sucks a baby egg out of Roger, and gets pregnant.
Mom? Dad? I think I'm pregnant.
You can't be pregnant. You're a virgin.
My boy?
I warned you I was going through my reproductive cycle.
And from there, Steve unknowingly passed the baby to Betsy when they kissed. So, I mean, come on. You don't get it? If there's one question that's unanswered, it's the follow-up. What happened to Betsy White? I mean, she's carrying an alien baby, which after a few seasons she should have delivered. I guess we'll never know. Another girl whose fate we do not know is Makiva, an African refugee much too cool for Steve.
Hi, I'm Makiva, your Uncle Stan's son.
Thank you.
In case you're wondering, yes, Steve was in Africa. The why is kind of ridiculous, though. You see, it started with Stan wanting Steve to feel the summer camp experience, the adolescent rivalry, camp crush, etc., etc. Problem is, he ended up sending Steve to the kind of camp you wouldn't wish on your enemy's kid.
Look, it's a legitimate place. It's called Camp Refugi.
It says refugee.
You sent our son to a refugee camp?
Well, in an effort to try and get Steve back, Stan and Haley set out to the refugee camp, but ended up staying longer than anticipated. Stan desperately wanted Steve to have that camp experience, so he figured he'd turn the refugee camp into Camp Refugee, because the sick and starving people there didn't need food or medicine, but the authentic summer camp experience. Anyway, that's where Steve met Makiva, and like the girl boss she was, she asked out Steve to the camp dance. Too bad she couldn't make it for some reason or the other. Oh yeah, that's right, she was kidnapped by some vicious rebels. So together they tried to rescue Makiva by competing in a Camp Olympics against the rebels, because the alternative war and bloodshed would have been too much for TV. After a fierce competition between both camps, it was all down to the last event, a race. Fueled by a newfound sense of macho bravado, Steve opted to be the runner, not exactly his strong suit, but a girl can make a guy do strange things. Besides, he had something else much more concerning to motivate him to win. Thanks to Steve, Camp Refugee won the Olympics and was spared from the rebels' interference, and more importantly, he won his girl back.
Comes your girl. Get ready for your victory kiss.
I won the race for you.
But I'm kind of a crazy chick.
Or maybe not. Boy, that's disturbing. I know I asked about the fate of the last girl, but this time I don't want to know. She wasn't the one for Steve anyway. That girl was Becky. And it was just so sad to not see them end up together. She was practically begging him for it.
I'm Becky, Cruise Activities Director.
I'm Steve.
You're cute.
In a harmless little brother kind of way, right?
No, in an I've taken a lot of boys' virginity kind of way.
So Steve met Becky at a family vacation cruise because Francine felt they weren't spending more time together as a family, and this was Stan's idea of a family vacation.
Can't wait. Then I gingerly carry your bodies downstairs, strip you down, put you in the goo, and program the greatest family vacation ever.
So in order to please Francine, the Smith family had to go on a cruise. Alas, Francine was not convinced that the cruise was real.
Hey everyone, this is Becky. She works on the boat.
Your son is 14 going on me.
Okay, something's not right here. And now a thin girl is crazy for Steve? I don't buy it. You put me in the goo again.
Now, normal people in situations like these would probably pinch themselves to make sure they're not in a programmed holiday, but not Francine. She had to go jump off the cruise ship in the middle of the night and ended up dragging the family with her. And they all got stranded on a funny island. Well, funny's one way to describe it anyway.
They're gonna hunt us.
What?
The guy said we had a 20-minute head start, and then they're gonna hunt us down like animals.
I'm gonna go see what's going on.
I don't care how hungry, dehydrated, or tired I am. If I wound up on a strange island where the only people there say they're gonna hunt me, I'm going back in the ocean, definitely not going to ask for a second opinion. A sentiment I'm sure Francine would agree with.
My husband seems to think that you were gonna hunt us down like animals.
Yep.
Okay then.
Surprisingly, for a bunch of hungry, dehydrated, and tired castaways, they actually managed to avoid the hunters, mostly because they wound up trapped in a cave. At least Steve still had his very supportive Becky.
I'll catch rainwater with one of these plant leaves.
Becky!
Yeah, spoke too soon. Man, Steve just can't catch a break at all. On the bright side, their food problem was solved.
Do it. Let's eat her.
Steve! No! Don't you get it? She's a human being! She's an organ donor.
At least they finally got that family dinner Francine's always wanted. Becky's probably not an adult. There's some plausible deniability there. Can't say the same about Carmen Electra, though.
Carmen Electra? Doesn't he mean Carmen Electra?
My bad, I meant Carmen Electra. And if you're wondering why the house looks like that, it's because Roger decided to turn it into a spring break wonderland. Anywho, Steve, who at the time was just about to have a sloppy drunk girl, saw Carmen and decided he wouldn't let his first time be with some random drunk. Instead, it'd be with a famous, matured lady. How the hell is he gonna swing that?
I only have one virginity, Carmen, and I want you to go home with it.
Here! This'll get you into the VIP party this afternoon.
Huh, that was surprisingly easier than I thought it'd be. Maybe I do have a shot with Scarlett Johansson. Eventually, when it was time to seal the deal, Steve had a little bit of a problem, and it's not the kind that affects approximately 18% of men in the United States.
Medical records. I'm free of all diseases.
I'm willing to have with you, and you're not gonna put out until you see my medical records?
What with all the Wang shrivel diseases my mom tells me about during bath time.
On the one hand, it always pays to be safe. On the other hand... But funnily enough, the surprises just keep coming.
My doctor faxed it over. Some of the pages are faint. You're low on toner. I want your virginity, Steve. I don't know why. Maybe because you made me work for it.
Yup. Clean as a... Hang on a mo. Says here you had an elective surgery?
Right. I had my breasts enhanced.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Carmen. I can't. The first boobs I'm with have got to be real. Lose the balloons, then give me a call.
No shot you're playing picky, brother. Unbelievable. And it keeps working.
I had them removed. They're all real, baby. So come and get it.
No! That's the second girl willing to sleep with Steve that's died. He really does have terrible luck. I mean, yeah, make no mistake. There have been several girls who want what this nerd's packing for whatever reason, like Janine Winthrop, for example. She really likes nerds.
We should hang out sometime after school.
I'm a nerd.
I know. Nerds are kind of my thing.
To Steve, this was basically a dream come true, but there was still the matter of Janine's dad butting in on their fun. You know how dads are with their daughters.
You kids having a good time?
Ah! Hello, sir.
Will you excuse us, Janine?
Mr. Winthrop, I wasn't trying anything, I swear.
That's a pity. Janine likes you.
What?
My daughter wants to be with you intimately, and I'm here to tell you that you have my blessing.
Huh, must be opposite day today, because since when did dads just toss their daughters to horny teen boys? Well, he did give one condition.
And son, safety first.
What an odd family. They should give them their own show or something. In addition to Steve and Janine practicing safe, Janine's dad also wanted to meet Steve's parents for dinner, and the timing couldn't have been more awful, because that was the arc when Stan was going through his addiction to crack. As you can imagine, that did not bode well for the dinner that could make or break Steve's virginity.
Get down, get down.
Hey!
Stan, what the hell are you doing?
Isn't it obvious? Guy can't handle his crack.
Giving your daughter away to a horny teen is one thing, but giving her away to a horny teen with a drug addict dad is one line Janine's dad apparently won't cross.
Get out of my house.
No! Sir, please!
I'm sorry it didn't work out, son. Honey, point them to the door.
First you go down that hallway, and then you take a left.
Good heavens. I think you need to kill your dad now, Steve. Oh, well, maybe he'll finally land the next one. Of all the girls Steve has dated or almost dated, there's one that I personally believe to have been the best. Lolo Fuentes.
Lolo Fuentes.
Lolo Fuentes was basically the whole package. Beautiful, smart, passionate, and an outcast just like Steve. Plus, she had that main character energy that demands her name be pronounced in full. Apparently, she'd been homeschooled most her life, but when she learned Steve and Snot were throwing a party for the unincluded in school, she just had to come. And right off the bat, Steve and her hit it off.
I've never talked to a boy before, but even I can tell you're being smooth. And I can't lie, I'm feeling some new feelings. May I hug you?
Zero impact.
You know just what to say.
As perfectly as things were going for Steve and Lolo Fuentes, there was the matter of Steve's bad luck striking yet again. Apparently, future versions of him and Snot came back to the past to warn them about their party.
If you're an awkward outsider as a kid, you end up being a rich, cool, and very successful adult.
But a few days ago, we had a couple failures in the lab, and that was weird.
And when I got a memory of getting a blowjob in high school, we knew something was very wrong.
The gist of the whole situation is, the cooler Steve and Snot get at their party, the less their chances of becoming rich, successful billionaires who invent the time machine is, which meant kissing Lolo Fuentes was a big no-no. Too bad Steve already crossed that line, and he crossed it again and again.
Snot, I gotta tell you, she's a hell of a lot better at this than you are.
Eventually, Steve came to his senses and decided to do the right thing. Totally not because Snot's future self had turned into some turtle mutant monstrosity thanks to Steve's rising popularity. In the end, they had to do something absolutely dorky that made them even more unincluded than the unincludeds. Well, there goes Lolo Fuentes. The things nerds have to sacrifice to be rich in the future. Now, despite all the strange circumstances surrounding Steve's relationship so far, I haven't even scratched the surface of the really crazy, messed up ones. And right off the bat in this section, the first one I can think of is Jules. You guys remember Jules, right? That one. Now you're probably wondering, how the frick did Steve have a thing with her? Was it another attempt to get Lindsay Coolidge or something? No. Let's just say it started with Steve and his friends looking to score booze to get into a house party.
Are you Warren?
Help you boys get loaded?
You're the guy who buys booze for kids?
Sure, it's a great way to make money.
Great! We'd like liquor, please.
All right, be right back.
Of course it would be Roger. Selling booze to underage kids has to be the least of the terrible things he's done. He didn't even care about the consequences or anything. To be fair, I didn't either. It was kind of fun seeing Steve be drunk.
What up, you
Well, hello, potty mouth. So I guess the party was pretty good then?
It's awesome. I made out with a girl I met at this place I went to after to get some late night za and da.
Little did Roger know that that would be such a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, the worst possible outcome from underage drinking, right next to drunk driving related accidents.
In, baby!
What have I done? Oh, Haley, you were right. Minors should never drink alcohol. I see that now.
Ugh, there's no amount of bleach that can wash that away from my memories. And for once, Roger actually made an effort to make things right. He went to Steve's school, spoke against alcoholism, even showed the kids who, or should I say, what Steve got into.
Percent of you will wind up making out with a girl of this caliber.
Definitely the most effective PSA I've ever seen. So that last one was just gross. The one that really freaked me out was Gretchen, though. If you know who that is, then you know the horrors I'm about to be talking about here. And if you don't, then you might have noticed that Gretchen is not your typical teenage girl name. I apologize. I feel like I should have given you a warning or something. As far as how things got to that point, well, it started with Steve's grandpa dying while they were playing charades.
Mom, Dad, you better come in here.
Dead. Lifeless. Lindsay Lohan's eyes!
Boy, that was awkward. After his death, Steve went to the retirement home where he used to live, and that's where he met Gretchen.
Hello?
Oh, hi. I'm Steve. This was my grandpa's apartment.
Oh.
Would you like one of his sugar packets as a keepsake? I'm gonna miss him.
Me too.
Yeah, and that's what led to the whole granny makeout time. You know, most people Steve's age would normally be put off by much, much older people relationship-wise, but boy, oh boy, not Steve. He was so proud of getting some that he boasted about it to his friends.
I made out with a chick. She's an older woman.
Yeah? How old?
She's 80.
Dude, she's got wrinkles.
Now, if you need me later on, check the retirement villa, apartment 2C.
Yeah, clearly Steve was far too gone. Or so I thought. Turns out he wasn't the only one into wrinkly raisins.
Funny, my friend Snot has a cut-off Wrangler jean vest just like that. How could you?
Handsome, you've got to understand. I don't have long for this world. Monogamy is for girls in their 60s.
You know, the old lady was right. She's way too old to be playing it safe and monogamous. Gotta burn bright while you still got some gas in you. By the way, thankfully, that was the end of that relationship. Now, Gretchen was a Herbert-level creep, but you can't deny almost every single girl Steve has ever gotten with is just a total freak. Like Ashley, for example. I mean, right off the bat, you can tell this one was real freaky.
Do you know where the office is?
It's right down there. You knew or something?
Yeah, I got kicked out of my old school for having too much. I end up going all the way on the first date every time.
Some people say hot and freaky girls usually have a few screws loose. Now, it might not be true, but it sure as hell was true this time. See, Ashley had a best friend that she couldn't ditch while she fooled around with Steve, so Steve was forced to bring Snot along on their date. Only problem was that the best friend in question was, how do I put this?
So where's Julia?
She's right here.
She's a doll.
Yeah, she's super cute. Everybody says so. She says she likes Jews.
You know that's not a real... So Julia seems great.
Obviously, Snot didn't want to hang out with a doll, but since he was best bros with Steve, he had to make some sacrifices. But that's when things start to take a turn for the crazy. Well, crazier.
Did you hear that? I'd better go check on Julia. You took advantage of Julia!
What? What's going...
Both of you! Get out!
No, wait!
She was a virgin! He didn't use a condom!
You didn't use a condom?
Oh, good heavens, the lengths Steve would go just to get laid. Bless his little heart, though. He didn't let that stop him from still trying to get on Ashley's good side. Wasn't easy, though, because Ashley was really pushing the crazy to new heights.
Well, is it a misunderstanding that Julia's period is late?
What?
Julia told me she was the one who jumped him.
Great! So you and I can pick up where we left off.
Oh, I wish, but I really just need to be with Julia right now. She decided not to keep the baby.
Well, I guess he's ready to play along with anything at this point. But even Steve has his limits. After taking the doll to a clinic to get rid of the baby, Steve and Snot figured it was time to end things. So they came up with a plan to keep the doll out of the picture for good.
Oh, look, it's her suicide note.
I'm in a better place. With Steve.
The suicide note might have been a little too on the nose with the have with Steve part. However, nothing could have prepared Steve for just how insane Ashley really was.
We cannot fool around while her killer is still on the loose.
Ah, that's it. I'm out of here. Snot, it didn't work.
Took you long enough. I know I called her crazy a few times, but I do feel bad for Ashley. Steve just left that poor girl traumatized. This next one is even more traumatizing, though. I'm talking about the time Steve technically dated his dad. Sounds crazy, I know, but just hear me out, okay? It all started with a new girl named Phyllis joining Steve's class.
Miss Phyllis. She just moved here from Hoboken. I'd like you all to give her a warm welcome.
Surprise, surprise, Steve is absolutely smitten. But the problem with Phyllis, besides her very unusual eagerness to ask Steve out on a date, was that she was related to Steve. And not in a long-distance cousin kind of way.
You want to go out?
What?
We should go out tomorrow, get to know each other.
Sure! I don't believe it. This is too good to be real.
Of course this is real. And this is really happening. Because this is real.
You see what I mean? Now, why would Stan do something crazy as control a synthetic avatar girl to date his own fracking son? Well, that's because he realized he was barely present in Steve's life while growing up. I mean, there are other ways to bond with your son, dude, but to each his own, I guess.
I can't believe how close we're getting.
I know one way we could get closer.
Good night, kiddo.
I guess I'm just glad that Stan knew his limits, but in a way that kind of ruined his plans to bond with Steve. Thanks to Stan's inability to fully commit to the role, Steve started setting his sights on someone else. Someone more like him, so to speak.
How are things going with Phyllis?
I think she just wants to be my buddy.
Well, maybe the one for you has been right in front of your face this entire time.
Who?
That, my friends, is Chelsea. She's basically the female version of Steve if you squint hard enough. Since Steve was hanging out with Chelsea, Phyllis, or should I say Stan, was starting to get jealous and decided to offer up the one thing Steve can never pass up on.
I don't think it's gonna work out. I'm looking for something more than friendship.
I'll with you.
Okay!
Now, before y'all get uncomfortable about Stan sleeping with Steve via Phyllis, I'm pretty sure Stan just said that to remain close to his little boy. There's absolutely no way he'd actually sleep with his own son, right? Right?
There for his biggest milestone ever, losing his virginity. To you, you idiot!
Well, I guess he's really doing it, huh? Thankfully, Francine caught on to his abhorrent machinations before he could go through with it, and they gave us an epic Avatar-style showdown.
Can't believe you do this, Stan! This stops now!
He was gonna dump me for that nerd, and I just won't lose him again!
After a few knocks around, Francine managed to get through to Stan and showed him the many things wrong with his plan. As for Steve, after the Phyllis thing fell through, he tried going back to Chelsea.
How'd the dance go?
Turns out Chelsea didn't like that I went to the dance with Phyllis.
Serves him right, picking and tossing girls around like he's grocery shopping or something. If there's one person it's not surprising to see on this list, it's Roger. Dude has been trying to get in Steve's pants for as long as the show's been on air.
Oh, you're a big boy, aren't you?
Oh, poor Roger. I almost feel pity for him. If you look at things from his point of view, it's almost as if Steve is the one giving him the green light.
The bottom's not for me. I'm what they call a top. My fingers are still sticky. You can suck on them if you want.
In this case, it was pretty much innocent enough on Steve's part, but there was this one scene where he really took it too far.
Because you've never had something as pure as my hole, and then had to see it defiled by strangers.
I'm finding your word choice is making it difficult to focus.
I'm honestly surprised Roger didn't immediately jump him right there and then. Which reminds me, there was that one time he had finally had enough of Steve's mixed signals.
Now you hit on me! After all these years of rebuffing my advances, now I'm finally moving on, and you have the audacity to... Oh, I get it now. Never mind.
Poor Roger, still getting his hopes up. But what if I were to tell you that they might have gotten some action at some point? Apparently, each member of the family has one Roger persona they can't see through and recognize as Roger, including Steve. You might get where this is going.
And remember that spin the bottle party you went to?
You were Alicia Wilkner? We went on 7 dates!
9. I roofied you on 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet Steve lost his V card on those roofie dates, just not in the conventional way. Seeing as Roger is an alien with no organs humanly comprehensible. I know I just talked about getting it on with an alien, but this next girl is much weirder than that, believe it or not. I'm talking about the time Steve didn't just groom the girl he wanted to sleep with. He straight up grew her. Her name was Glitter. Who is Glitter, and why does she sound like a stripper? Well, let's go back to the beginning of a typical day for Steve and his friends, asking a bunch of girls out to a dance.
In your dreams, nerd.
What? You
understand.
Then you know you're screwed if even the likes of Jules says no to you. So what do Steve and Snot do in this situation? Sneak into the CIA late at night to clone up a couple of girls just for a school dance. That's what. But there was a matter of procuring DNA samples for said clones. I shake my head in disappointment, but I've seen worse. Either way, the boys had their DNA samples, and all that was left to do was clone the girls and name them.
I'm gonna name mine after my great-grandmother, Glitter. Unclone! Unclone!
Yeah, that's like cloning 101, guys. For such big nerds, I'm surprised they didn't see that one coming. Be that as it may, Steve and Snot were determined to go on the dance with them, especially since they were growing up at an alarmingly fast pace. And by the night of the dance, to put this in the least creepy way possible, both of them were just the right age for the boys.
Listen to me now.
Aw, somewhere along the line, I guess Steve and Snot fell in love with the clones as daughters rather than clones. And really, dude, you'd think at this point they'd shut down their atrocious plans of sleeping with their daughters. But no, instead Snot found a way around it. Why sleep with his own daughter when he could do so with Steve's?
What are you doing here?
Thankfully, Steve was just in time to stop Snot from banging Glitter, although I feel like he had a few minutes to spare. Didn't seem like Snot was getting out of those pants anytime soon. As for what became of Glitter, well... Don't worry, she was already dead before Stan shot her. Turns out clones can't live past the age of the original. American Dad logic. One of the most awkward moments in life is receiving the talk from your parents when you reach a certain age. What's even worse is having to give the talk to your kids. And it's Stan's inability to give Steve the talk that leads him to bond with Shannon Wells.
I was wondering if you'd like to join our purity group.
What's a purity group?
We've been looking to modernize by adding a boy, and it's obvious you're a committed virgin.
Yeah, dude's just a committed virgin at this point. He's given up on getting with girls that he's set his sights on other things.
Oh.
Yeah, there's really no hope for Steve at this point, and rather than give him the talk, Stan figured he'd sign him up for a purity program, same one with Shannon. And get this, the way the program goes is the father is meant to keep their child in abstinence by dating them themselves. Totally bonkers, but I don't make the rules. If anything, blame Stan for going along with it. But hey, before you go judging him, they give the fathers of the purity child a cool fracking sword.
Stan!
Huh? Definitely a good trade-off for dating your kid, if you ask me. Anyway, while in the purity or abstinence program, Steve and Shannon get real close, much to Stan's dislike, who would rather retain his sword privileges than help out his son get an actual female. Did I just say female? Despite all of his efforts, you know how persistent young love can be. Steve and Shannon inevitably got closer than before. As such, it was only a matter of time before the other fathers of the program caught on. And in order to maintain purity amongst everyone, they put Steve through intensive anti-brainwash treatment.
This camp isn't so bad.
Ah! Oh, gross! Stop! Turn it off! Sweet Jesus, have mercy!
Whatever that treatment was, it screwed Steve up big time. By the end of it, bro was thrown up at just the mere sight or thought of women. It took seeing his son looking like a virgin zombie for Stan to finally realize how he messed up Steve. So he locked Steve up in a closet with Shannon to override his brainwashing while he fought off the other fathers sword style.
Bro, we should give them the information and the space to safely explore those feelings. I can't hold out much longer, son.
Well, at least he finally managed to give Steve the talk before he died. Just kidding, Stan survived. As for Steve, it's hard to say if he actually went all the way with Shannon, even though it's kinda implied, but the writers chose to pretend this episode doesn't exist and keep treating Steve like a turbo virgin supreme. But none of that, absolutely none of that, is comparable to the weirdest person Steve has ever dated. His mother, Francine. Okay, bit of a stretch, technically. He hasn't actually dated her, but he did take her out to a dance.
You look so beautiful.
Yeah, let's just get this over with.
Your chariot awaits.
Oh, fine. It was a mother-son dance. But there's no denying that this kid has some messed up Freudian feelings for his mom. It's kind of like a running gag in the show, like in the episode where Stan got into trouble for checking out other women. Steve expressed his displeasure by singing this very sus song about Francine with some weird lyrics.
Those lips, hips, and face. Damn, that's my mama. Damn, if that wasn't my mama.
What the hell did he mean by if Francine wasn't his mom? Oh, wait, I have the answer right here. In song, too.
Wasn't my mom, Lord, you know I tried to bone.
That don't convince you that Steve has a very unhealthy attraction to his mother. I don't really know what else will. Oh, guys, it's been a long list, much longer than I expected from Steve, of all people. And I must say, for a virgin, the boy sure gets around a lot, enough to have racked up 18 girls, 1 alien, and 1 clone. Not all relationships, some weirder than others, but still, there you go. Now, if that wasn't wild enough for you, click the link on screen now for some more animation goodness. Thanks for watching.